All right. So we've been recording for a little bit already. That's great. What's up, everybody? This is Kase. Welcome to Kase of the Mondays. We have the wonderful Mr. Akaash Singh here today.
Hell yeah.
What up, man? How are you?
Doing all right, man. Thanks for having me.
Buddy, happy to be here. And we have a special guest. We have another little guy here. All right, he can't talk, but his name's Happy. He's a happy little guy.
5-pound multi-poo raw steel sex appeal.
Yeah. He's a sexy little man. I mean, do what women have to talk to you on the street when you see this dog,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It happens a lot. If I had known, I would have gotten this dog single. If I had known.
That would be great. Yeah.
Because I'd be less lonely, number one. And number two, women flock to this guy like he's a celebrity.
You want to know something? There was a guy, and me and Akaash started comedy together about, we met pretty much in the beginning of our careers.
Right.
And so there was a guy that used to live next door to a place we used to do shows in the West Village, and he lived upstairs. He had a dog, and he had this thing that he used to do where he would take the dog downstairs. You remember this guy? He used to take it around the block.
Yeah.
So he'd have the girl meet him for the date, and then the girl would meet him, and he'd be like, hey, sorry, I got to walk my dog. Do you mind? And then they would go around the block.
He's brilliant, man.
And then she'd be like, oh, my God, it's such a cute dog. And then they would be like, do you want to just, have a glass of wine at my place first?
He's a brilliant, man.
So he would decide whether or not he liked the girl. The first date was to walk around the block with the dog, and the second date was the wine upstairs. And he said if they came upstairs for the wine, they never left for the actual date.
That's
it was just,
so great.
Yeah.
That's an all-time hustle.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like that's, because it works.
What's wrong? Everything is right with that. What are we talking about? I don't think there's anything. That's the man saves money. He saves time.
And he's sleeping with whoever.
The girl meets a great guy and a great puppy. You know what I mean? It's a great life.
Yeah, I theoretically don't know how great of a guy he is, but
he's a great guy. He's an efficient guy.
I wouldn't want my daughter anywhere near this guy.
Oh, PC Case.
Get
out of here.
PC Case. It's your daughter.
Gets his own podcast. All of a sudden, men have to be gentlemen.
We gotta fuck, guys. Not my daughter. Not my daughter. I'm just saying it's weird to me. I always think about that weird thing of dude, and I think a lot of guys have this. There are certain things you do that you go, all right, if I do or say these things, just I guess it's how consciously you're doing them. You're like, all right, if I'm charming, this girl will like me, or if I'm funny, this girl will like me, and then she'll sleep with me. But some people have it down to a science. They go, all right, I come in, and I have this line I say about the wine, and then I have the dog, and I cue the dog. If the dog doesn't bark, I kick the dog later, let him know.
You have a way that you know a girl likes you. What is it?
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, so if I'm on a date
and
I'm talking to a woman, and obviously we're on a date, we're talking, and our knees touch while we're talking. I have no idea why. I don't know why, but every single time that's happened, actually, minus once. This is the first time it didn't happen, but only one caveat in however many years of this. But if our knees are touching, we will in some way hook up that night.
100%.
100% correlation minus this one girl who's an outlier who I think maybe there's something wrong with her.
She's troubled. She's a troubled girl.
Something's wrong with her, obviously, right?
Obviously, bad pass.
Can't be with me.
No, bad pass this girl.
Yeah. What would you have anything where you
know what's weird? If a girl hates me, in my mind, I could pull her if I wanted.
Yeah.
Because the line between love and hate really is very thin to me. And maybe I'm a psychopath, but if a girl invests enough energy into hating me, I feel like I could flip that pretty quickly. There's something beyond.
If I had that confidence, hatred. I would be in jail right now for sure. If I was like, man, look at that girl not talking to me, being like, get away. Oh man, she's so into me.
But
right
I'm
now.
not creepy, so you're not gonna tell me.
No, I know
to get
you're
away.
not creepy.
So you're not gonna tell me to get away. I'm just gonna be an asshole. And if being an asshole bothers you, it's not that different than grade school.
No, that's true. Okay, that's
you like the kid that's shoving you into the ground or whatever.
All right, well, I don't know. Not about into the ground, maybe to the ground. I don't know. Shoving you in the ground? You're like, let me just dig this hole and shove you into it. I didn't flirt in elementary school.
What are they, pulling hair or whatever they're doing?
Yeah, they pull hair.
It's the same basic idea.
I remember I liked this girl, Elizabeth, when I was a kid. My mom goes, why do you like Elizabeth? And I was like, she's very neat. That was my criteria for liking a girl. I'm like, all her pencils are arranged fantastic. This is a wife. The way you look at people of the opposite sex.
Honestly, that's the best.
Right. When you're a kid, I feel like before you hit puberty, the way you look at the opposite sex is the way you would look for a long-term relationship.
Yeah, for sure. That's
and then you turn into an idiot, a retarded moron the rest of your life.
Of course. Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at her. She's beautiful. Those tattoos and that drug habit's cool. You know what I mean? You don't even think about that for no reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I don't know. I just I'm single. I'm out here. It's not bad.
Oh, I know. We live together.
I know. Akaash is
for 3 more days. 3 more glorious days.
We lived together. We lived together for a long time. Tell people we met in.
Kase is one of my best friends. We lived together for 4 or 5 years now, and now I have a girlfriend who I love very much, but she's just ruining everything, and now we have to move out.
She's really ruining it.
I know, man.
But it's okay. You guys.
We coexisted peacefully.
You guys are nice and cute together, and it's a whole nice.
I know. I'm gonna
cute
marry her.
thing.
I'm gonna marry her, but it's just I'm gonna be really sad.
Hey,
Friday.
don't listen to the podcast. All right.
It's gonna be really sad Friday, is all I'm saying.
I think
she knows.
you're
I
going
keep
to.
saying.
Yeah.
Every time you do a real Case thing, I'm like, God, I'm gonna miss that guy. She's like, I know, baby, I know. She comforts me.
I remember not that long ago, our light was out in the bathroom, and Akaash came home with this girl, and I was like, I yelled from the bathroom. I was like taking a shower. I'm like, guys, the light's out. Don't come in here. I'm completely naked. Also, it's very dark. And I was just like, and he goes, oh man, I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna fucking miss living with you. And I was like, me too, man. Me too.
And my girl said at first, she goes, you're gonna miss him so much. As soon as you said that, my girl was like, oh man, you're really gonna miss this guy.
There's nothing like walking home to a little bit of buffoonery. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Just someone's in a jam.
Women
you just
are too
walk
smart.
in.
It's not as fun. You need a
come in,
little
everything's
buffoonery.
done. Something
yeah.
got made and cleaned.
Come on, get out of here.
Buddy, I walk home, either one of us, we're walking to a problem. You know what I mean? It's great. I come home, you're trying to build something, using a screwdriver. I'm like, you need a hammer. What are you doing? This is crazy.
Of course. I have no idea how to build anything.
Yeah, it's great. So you've listened to this. I know this about Akaash. You're a big fan of. Also, Akaash Plug. You have a podcast. Right?
I have a podcast called Flagrant 2. It's a sports-based podcast. We talk about everything. If anybody wants to listen, Flagrant 2.
Flagrant 2, and yeah, man, you're big into sports your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been big. I know you're kind of a big sports fan. I never understood that because I'm not a big sports fan. But like, so I'm curious, just as a guy, like, and I'm not trying to make fun of you, but you clearly are not able to play sports, right? So.
I would
what
destroy
draws
you in basketball. I would destroy you.
You're pretty agile.
I'd be shocked if you scored. I'd be embarrassed if you scored 4 points.
Threes all day, baby.
In a game to 11, if you scored 4 points, I'd be embarrassed.
It would be incredibly easy for me to score 11 points. How about that?
I mean, we can bet any amount of money. Film it. Put it on the podcast.
I play basketball. I'm getting behind the 3-point line. I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to break a sweat. I just hit a nice 3. Out of 20, I'm hitting 16. Easy. So you tell me what you're going to do. You know what I mean? What are you going to do?
I want to play basketball. Yeah. I want this on tape. Stuytown, where you're moving, has courts.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm down. I actually have courts at the new place. Yeah,
I'll do it.
I'll have you back on. I don't care.
Oh, we're
I don't
filming.
care. Oh, all right. Me beat. See, this is the thing. How do I win? Now, you're what? How tall are you?
5'7".
Okay, you're 5'7". I'm basically 6 foot with shoes, probably 6.5 feet. I don't look good if I win.
Basically 6 foot because you're too insecure to say you're 5'11".
I'm 5'11" 3/4. But let me tell you something. Every single time in my life, I have mentioned that I am 5'11" 3/4 and said I was 6 foot. Every woman in the room goes, "You're 5'11" 3/4." They're acting like you're trying to get something over on them. I'm like, you fucking psycho. Like, what? Am I? I'm sorry. Did I just say I make $180,000 and I'm single, but I turn out to be poor and married? Like, what's
6 foot is $250,000 a year.
It's a quarter of an inch difference, and these psychotic people are acting like you're like lying straight to their face.
You're
actually not 6 foot. Dude, I'm 6'1.5". I'm almost 6'1" when I got sneakers on.
Point is, if we play basketball, it wouldn't be that embarrassing.
What draws you to sports?
I think part of it was when I was growing up, my brother loved football. My older brother, 6 years older than me, and my grandfather liked football a lot. So that was like a bonding thing. And in the South, I grew up in Texas. That's an easy way to get along with dudes. You know about sports. You can talk. You can bond. But also, it's just entertainment, man. It's drama in the highest level because it's real. It's unfolding before your eyes. You can't ever predict it. Movies are formulaic. You can predict a movie 60% of the time.
All right, I'll give you that.
Sports
That's
or not.
fair. Yeah, I get that it's not unpredictable, but do you ever watch and you just watch these people on the screen do these things, and I never see you actually feel things when they're making plays. Like you're actually having emotional reactions.
Yeah, I'm getting up out of my seat. I'm doing all of it.
See, that's the only time that's ever happened to me, and I think it's because I fought a little bit when I was younger, is when I watch MMA or boxing. It's the only time I go, oh, like I'm actually moving with the guy.
Right.
Because I can put myself in his situation. But especially with certain sports, there's so... you don't ever feel like they're so beyond us that I don't even know what's... I don't know what a 7 foot, 290-pound guy is moving like. I don't know what that life is like. So when I see them playing basketball, I go... I mean, I guess, like, I don't even know what you're attaching to at that point. You know, they're so beyond what I'm capable of doing.
Well, you have a team you're invested in. So I grew up in Dallas, so I was a big Cowboys fan and Mavericks fan and all that. So you have your team, you have your laundry, and then you have players that do these amazing things that you like. And it's kind of like celebrities. You just like them as a person for whatever reason. LeBron James opened the school. That's so amazing. I mean, you know what? I like LeBron. You know what? I'm rooting for LeBron.
I mean,
And
that's
then
pretty
it
cool.
grows from
Okay,
there.
when guys open schools and stuff like that, I think that's pretty cool. That's nice when they do stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I just never got into like I just didn't understand. The popularity of it is what's insane to me. And I know I'm the weirdo, right? Because I grew up like liking things like books and stuff, you know? So like I would be like, I would be like, people would be like, the Cowboys won. And I was like, Narnia is cool. You know what I mean? Like, I just never understood, like, how people, I'm like, we're 8. Like, what do you, I remember people being really into, 1940 and this story when the Rangers, I think, won. And, like, back in 1994, I think it was, or something like that.
Oh, the New York Rangers. The
Yeah.
hockey team.
So
Okay,
hockey was a huge thing. And then people were like, and I remember people looking at me like, really knowing I didn't watch sports because I was like, you know, I watched a hockey game last night. This guy slapped the other guy in the butt. I was like a kid, and I honestly was like, "What's up with that, huh?" Little question mark about that guy, huh? I think he's got a wife. This is pretty dramatic turn of events, huh? Like I literally didn't know like that was just like a normal thing men did after in a sports game, just good slap on the ass. Let's keep playing,
yeah. I'll do it. Bang.
You'll throw a couple slaps out
Oh
there.
yeah.
Man, it's just
Good
weird
shit.
to me.
Pop.
I just don't. And the popularity of it, we're talking about this, like, I like comedy, you know, as many people, obviously. And music famous, sports famous, so far exceeds comedy famous.
Oh, it's insane.
And that I've never, you wrap your arm around that and you go, this is crazy. It's like being like, oh man, I love hot chocolate. And everyone's like, yeah, man, but like, you know about water. And you're like, yeah, but hot chocolate. And you go, yeah, but you have to drink water to survive. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Hot chocolate. We're all liking hot chocolate, right? That's how I feel when I wake up and I find out. Every time I find out how popular all the other things are, other than what I like.
Everything is more popular than stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is a very niche thing.
Yeah,
it's because it's not. There's 1,000 ways to make you laugh. Stand-up comedy is one guy on a stage
and it's subjective
talking. Yeah, and it's subjective.
True, yeah.
And there's no real stimulus really, so it's a niche thing.
Yeah,
It's a big niche, but it's a niche.
Yeah, compared to like sports is the world. That's mainstream. Like especially like
it's man versus man. There's conflict. There's struggle.
Yeah. You know, I'm a bad person to watch sports with. I was just talking to someone else about this, but anytime, this is why I'm so bad at sports, as I have these things called feelings. And then when I watch the game, I'm like, all right, this is great. And then I go get bored. And then when they win, especially if it's a championship game, all I feel, the most prevalent, this is the biggest turnoff for me for sports, the biggest feeling I have at the end of a sports game is like, oh, man, those guys almost won. These poor guys lost.
Oh, you feel bad for the team that lost.
Yeah, I only feel,
and sometimes you still do. You still feel bad for the team that lost. But it's still entertainment in that it is a struggle that is completely real. Like, I mean, you could fix games, I guess, but for the most part, you cannot script this. This is two people in just a sheer battle of wills.
Yeah.
It's poetic, man.
It's so funny, too, like people fucking up. It's so cool that goes on TV. Like, if you fuck up bad enough, if you play sports...
Oh, yeah, you're famous.
You're
that's
famous going on the news that night.
Forever. People remember you forever for fucking up.
Yeah, you
dropped a pass.
You stutter telling a joke. That doesn't make it...
There's not stakes.
10 o'clock,
A million people aren't rooting against you because what makes us so invested in this is you're rooting against someone else. It's a conflict. It's boxing. You like boxing. You are rooting for one guy, so you are inherently rooting against another guy, and then there's two fan bases that are diametrically opposed in their interests. Comedy, you're not competing against Dane Cook or whoever, you know what I mean? You're not.
Yeah, just you versus that night.
You're kind of competing against the other guys in the show, but there's not two fan bases that are there competing along with
against
you.
each other. That would be the most fun.
That's
you
fun.
Have half the audience is just heckling you, and the other half is your fucking diehard fans.
That's fun.
That would be so much fun.
Maybe they brawl after the
Buddy,
show.
We should find audience.
Think how much higher stakes that is than stand-up comedy.
That's a great idea. You bring in an audience, you go, listen, half you guys, you pick right now. Half you're going to be really into this guy, and the other half fucking hates this guy.
Oh yeah,
you gotta bring it. You have to feel that the entire show.
You gotta believe that. Yeah.
If you hate him, yell some shit out, bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
If you love him, fucking just give it up all the way. You know,
right.
That would be dope. I would much rather that from a crowd than just like.
We should try
normal.
one show like that and see how it goes.
That would
Just
be-
one
that would be
show,
interesting.
see how it goes. Because then when someone's like problematic, and then the other half of the room is like, shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Right.
that'd be interesting to see.
That would be
to see.
interesting. Watching people get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
Comedy
guy's
sports.
like, whatever, faggot. And you're like, dude, I was in character. What are you doing? I was in character. I was supposed to play that guy. That's what I thought I was.
man.
No, I say problematic. And they can't do anything to him. They go, oh, man, we're sorry. We're going to have to let you go. You were at a comedy show. This is not affiliated. You were at a work function. Yeah, man. Speaking of working, man, I've had a lot of jobs. You've had some jobs.
Yeah. You've had a lot of jobs.
I've had 20 to 30 jobs in my life, and there were 25 of those was before I was 21.
And how did those end?
Abruptly. Every single one of those jobs ended very soon. But I want to say, like, what's the worst you've ever fucked up at a job?
I was just consistently bad. Like, I was consistently apathetic. I have a big problem with authority, so I would just question everything.
But was there a specific time you came in, a boss said something to you, you said something back, and you were just like, well, I mean.
I remember I worked at Verizon Wireless one time, and for a while they had like
Quit bragging.
they had like corporate stores in Circuit Cities, which is dead at that time.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
This is
Okay.
like
This is a while ago.
2007. Circuit City's dying already.
Yeah.
So nobody comes into this place.
Right.
But one day I'm literally the only guy at the kiosk, and then I go start looking at car stereos because my car had gotten broken into, and then the district manager or whatever comes to the kiosk, and I see him standing there, and I walk back, and I'm like, oh, my bad, man. He goes, where were you? And I was like, oh, I was just looking at stereos. And the look he gave me was just like, what, are you crazy? And I was like,
great.
yeah, my car got broken into, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Everywhere I've gone, I've been like a historically just underwhelming employee.
But that's hilarious. So the guy comes over, he goes, what were you doing? You're like, I was looking at stereos. You're
Yeah,
like,
come
he's
on,
an
dog.
idiot.
How do you not get it? Yeah,
And he looked at you like you were a crazy person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like an absolute insane.
absolutely. Same
individual.
company. They made us say these ridiculous things. Verizon Wireless, your blah 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 headquarters. Verizon's super corporate.
Yeah.
I remember right when I gave my 2 weeks notice, I picked up the phone and I go, someone called. I go, Verizon Wireless, what's up? And it was the district manager again.
Great.
And he was like, where am I calling? I was like, this is Verizon Wireless. He goes, who is this? I go, this is Akaash Singh. And he goes, this is David blah, 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 the district manager. And I just go, oh, hey, what's up, man? No apology.
No, don't apologize,
No,
yeah.
you got to double down.
What did he say? When he doubled down?
He said,
I love that you doubled down.
can I talk to
Doubling
the
down
store
is great.
manager? And then they let me go. They were like, we accept your resignation. You don't got to wait the full weeks. Just go.
Wow, so you had already resigned.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first time
That's
I was
great.
still a full-fledged employee, and then this phone call, I had just given my 2 weeks notice, and I was really fucking off.
Yeah.
And then after that phone call, they were like, just go. You don't have to wait the 2 weeks. Just go.
Yeah. What was your manager's name? First name. They don't have to.
David was the district manager, store manager was Joe.
That's great. Yeah, man, that's weird, right? Like I've had jobs like that too, where the guy comes over and he's like, "What are you doing?" And you're like looking at car stereos, man. What do you mean? And the guy goes, "Are you out of your mind?" And you're just like, "Hey, Dave, it's just me and you here, man. There's no one else here. Why are we pretending you're my boss? We're just two losers in an empty building. There's no. What is this hierarchy that we're pretending
man.
exists? There's nobody here for this to matter."
Oh, man.
You're just alone in a room with. I've had
true.
so many jobs like that where the guy goes, you got to make sure that today, blah 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 blah, and I go, no one is looking at anything we're doing. This doesn't matter. I had a shift meeting. I used to work at like a coffee house. I think it was Starbucks. And I remember being in the shift meeting, and like the guy would be like, give us like a pep talk or something.
Yeah.
Oh no, this was a retail. My bad. It was a retail. I worked at a clothing store. I worked at Paxton and Abercrombie a million years ago, and they used to have like a shift meeting, and they'd be like, "Come on, we're gonna get out there. We're gonna really represent the brand or whatever the fuck this 25-year-old douchebag was saying to me."
right.
I just remember being like, "We're getting paid." I remember at one point I looked at my boss and I was like, "Chad, we're getting paid $7 an hour." He's like, "Well, be that as may, we want your best." I was like, "For $7 an hour?" And everyone looked at me like, "Do you want this job?" I go, "It's $7 an hour."
I guess, but I don't need this job. Wanting a job and needing a job are two very different levels of investment.
Yeah, that's a completely different walk to work.
Oh, yeah.
That's a completely different walk to work.
Oh, yeah. Needing a job, I'm not fucking up at all. Wanting a job for $7 an hour is like, I'm cool.
But you have to admit, walking in at a job you know you don't need is a fun
Oh,
life.
it's the best. It's much better.
Oh, you walk in with your coffee, just, hey, what's up, everybody? They're like, you're late. You're like, I know. And you just go sit down. And your boss goes, you know you're late? And you go, what, you know, life, man, you know, it just happens. I remember my boss one time asked me to come in, and I was like, yeah, man, I got school tomorrow. And he goes, yeah, but I'm going to need you to come in. I was like, yeah, I know, man, but school. And he just kept saying, you got to come in or you're fired. Like, yup, I got to learn, man. It's crazy. And he goes, but no, you don't understand. If you don't show up for your shift, you're done here. And I was like, you know, I think we're covering Latin American history tomorrow. I think that's what we're doing. This looked at me like I was like, one of the places I worked was just the worst place on the planet was P.F. Chang's. Fuck you, P.F. Chang's. Fuck you, P.F. Chang's, and your bullshit ass side work. P.F. Chang's has you come in like you're going to medical school to learn how to become a specific type of surgeon. You're like, I'm going to become a cardiothoracic surgeon the way P.F. Chang's gives you side work.
That's what Cheesecake does, I heard. Cheesecake Factory is like, you got to go to like take tests and stuff.
It's like an hour and a half of side work before you get in. It's complete insanity, and then you have to just keep going. And did they have anything like that when you worked at? You technically worked at Circuit City, but yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I see what you're saying. No, because we'd have to go to like the actual Verizon every Friday for meetings. Every Friday, 7 a.m. we had meetings, and they'd talk about your numbers and like because they know what a hustle this shit is. So for every phone you sold, you had to sell 3 accessories. Because they claimed they didn't make much money in the phone, but they made a lot on accessories. They would sell you like a cell phone charger for your car that was $30, and it probably cost them 12 cents to make.
12 cents, yeah.
Such a high markup.
Yeah.
So you would have to have a ratio of 3-to-1, and they would call out ratios to try to like, I guess, embarrass people. And I was always dead last, and I never gave a fuck. People would try to tease me, and I'd be like, am I supposed to be embarrassed? I don't sell enough fucking cell phone holsters. I would literally say that. I'd be like, y'all think I'm going to be embarrassed? Never.
That's great. Yeah, everyone else taking it really seriously. Like, I'm the top salesman.
Oh, yeah. Keep it, buddy.
Yeah, I don't want that fucking cred, top salesman. Which brings me to my point. I was a top salesman. And at my telemarketing job when I was 16 years old, like I said, I had a lot of jobs. And the guy used to give like a pep talk every day, and we got high. We smoked a full, I don't know if you guys know what blunts are. They're hollowed out cigars filled with marijuana. And we would smoke them every day. And when I said 16, I lied. I was 14. And a 16-year-old would give us a ride. So a 16-year-old would drive a bunch of 14-year-olds to a job where we all got stoned out of our minds in the 16-year-old's car. Shout out, Brian. Thank you very much, pal.
What were you selling?
We were nothing important, just refinancing people's mortgages. Not a big deal at all. Buddy, I was the best. I remember one time I got top salesman of the entire month, and my boss was like, hey, Kase, Mr. Kennedy. And Mr. Kennedy used to be like, this kid, I swear to God, I die, your fault. I die. When I have tubes in me, it's going to be your fault. And then I was the top salesman. He's like, great job, Kase. Great job. You want pizza? Anytime. Like we ordered pizza. I was like, thanks, Mr. Kennedy. Like, you hated me yesterday. This is weird. But the shit I would say to people would be absolutely insane. And he was like, you're the top salesman. And every day I would come to work with my eyes completely beat red. I was 14, 15 years old, and everyone knew what was going on. My boss just looked at me, gave me a dirty look every single day, and we all pretended like we didn't get high. And it was just so obvious we're all stoned out of our minds. So we had these things called Garcia Vegas. They came in a green tube. They were the cigar that we put the weed in. And one day I was so high, I put the bag the weed came in inside the green tube with the Garcia Vega, and I threw it in the trash can that was next to his desk. So Mr. Kennedy goes, what's this? And he puts his hand in the trash can, picks it up, looks through it like it's a fucking telescope, and goes, interesting. Let's get to work. And just puts it down. Yeah. So every day we're having this thing where they go, is this guy high? We're not high. They give me dirty looks. And then basically, when I became salesman of the month, I was like, thank you, everybody. I just want to say, I always take my medicine. And that was it. I just kind of acknowledged that moment that I was getting high every single day.
If you sell well at a sales job, you get away with anything. You do whatever you want. You just leave shifts. It doesn't matter.
You want. We used to be able to dial each other in from our we had cubicles. We would dial each other from our cubicles, and we would just say dirty stuff. You know, people got just a bunch of dudes, and there was 2 girls, and the guys would just call like, "Hey man, we're just wondering if you could refinance my dick." You know, there was stuff like that.
Of course.
And then this
still hilarious.
Yeah, and then you're 14 years old, and this
Comedic genius.
This girl would like call in a fake, sexy, sultry voice, and be like, "Oh my god, I really want to like suck your dick," like whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like really funny if you're like an adult, but when you're 14, you are rock hard immediately. You are rock. Oh my god, I remember being like, this girl, I don't think she knows how hard I am right now. From the second she started talking like that on the phone, I was 14, like, whoa, all right. I was like, Salesman of the Month. I want to thank Andrea for all the motivation she's given me. She's like, "You're gonna sell so many things." I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So that's the worst you've ever fucked up your job just on a consistent basis, like not doing well, coming to work and fucking up or whatever. But then you start doing comedy,
right?
And since you've been doing comedy, what would you say is like the worst you've ever fucked up doing comedy?
Like worst
show you've ever had, or like worst
worst show I've ever had.
You stepped in it pretty bad, and where you're like, "Oof, that was a wrong move."
You've seen me bomb. I take the whole thing down with me. There is no soft bomb with me. There is no going quietly into the night. There is
you go down in flames.
Dig my heels into the stage.
Yeah.
Tell the audience I don't like them, and I say I'm gonna make you hate me as much as I hate you.
Have you ever had a show where you showed up and you're like, "Wow, this is gonna be horrible"?
I almost got killed in a show in DC. It was a weird crowd. I had a horrible time getting up there. Like
Where in DC were you? How far south?
I don't remember the name of the room. It might have been Big Hunt, which is like a popular room. Might have been.
Yeah.
It was like mad cavernous, and it was just a horrendous trip getting up there. My best friend got engaged, and I had to leave to do the show.
How many years into comedy were you at this point?
I was like 7, 8. I was years.
Yeah, you were years in. Okay.
And I'm trying to like take my time and see if I can kind of suck the crowd in with low energy for some reason.
Yeah.
Not really working. These girls off to the side, girl and guy start talking. They're with this T-shirt company. And I say something to them. We talk. We joke back and forth. They keep talking. They keep interrupting the show. It's like disruptive. And they're right next to the show, and they're involved in the show somehow. Like they have a table.
Yeah.
And I go, guys, what the fuck is going on or something? I said something smart. They said something smart back. And then I go, you know what's funny? They're looking at me like I'm not going to make it. And I'm like, nobody's going to buy your T-shirts. These ugly T-shirts. You look broke. You're bums. And great. I knew I was bombing. God, I can't believe I see you. When you're bombing up there, you're trying to find anything. You're just an animal in a corner.
Right.
And sometimes you'll say things that right after you say it, you're like, why on earth would I say that? This is the most unlikable thing you can ever say. They're basically saying I'm broke, I'm a bum, whatever. And then I go, you know what, man, why don't we just get up here and compare bank statements? What a douchebag thing to say.
That's great.
I hate myself for saying that forever.
Yeah.
Awful. But
I mean, you can't be. But then, I would assume I've seen you do it a bunch of times. Akaash is a very funny man, and also host of the Flagrant 2 podcast.
Hell yeah,
right?
We mentioned that, and I said hell yeah both times.
And so I've seen you in that situation turn the crowd eventually, where they.
I couldn't do it this time, especially. I think at that line I was so desperate that I knew I was a sinking ship. But like weirdly, the audience still hated them more than me because they knew these guys are disrupting the show for no reason.
Right.
And then after I get off stage, I make jokes about how like I'm talking a lot of shit on stage, and as soon as we get off, I'm gonna apologize. Whatever.
Right.
Make these jokes, whatever. I make it likable. Considering what I just said, I make it as likable as I can. And then I get off stage. A bunch of people get up and walk out of the room because they're like, "This show just got real weird. I'm out." I took the show down with me. And then these guys come up to me. They start talking. I go up to them. I'm like, "Listen, I'm sorry for what I said, but you had to know why I had to go at you." And then they weren't hearing it, and they were pissed. And these are like thug-type dudes I'm realizing.
You want to be like, hey, man, like, you have to understand what I was just going through up there. It was crazy. Like,
I have to defend myself on that stage.
Yeah.
Whether or not I did a good job, I don't know, but I have to try.
Right. And things are just coming at you.
And they're not having it. They're talking. You talking real tough on that stage, blah, blah, blah. I had already mentioned that was just for stage, but whatever. They're not hearing it. I'm realizing these are like 2 or 3 thug type of dudes in DC.
Yeah.
Not black dudes, like Asian guy and like a Latino dude. Not overly big, but I'm like, oh, these guys aren't just pretending. They got some thug in them. Yeah. And then as I'm walking out of the room, that T-shirt company, I see like mad people wearing their T-shirts. And I don't know what's going on. This is a Dan
Like, this is
Frigolette gig, by the way. So this is how you know this is a terrible gig.
Shout out Dan.
So this is how I know I didn't know what I was getting into.
Best gigs on the planet.
Then I'm telling Dan, I'm like, yo, Dan, we need to get the fuck out of here. Like, this is not a good look. There's too many of these people. And he's like, yeah, hold on. I just got to get paid. He legitimately takes 15 minutes to get paid. Another guy comes up to me, starts talking real like, not real. He's like, he looks like he wants to fight. He's talking at me. And I'm not letting him know I don't want to fight, but I clearly don't want to fight.
Clearly.
You know what I mean?
You're
And
5'7".
Matt Richards is behind me. Matt
130
Richards, shouts to
pounds?
Matt Richards, has my bag just in case anything
That's
pops up.
dope.
He's just standing there.
Yeah, he
Dan-
can't do anything though.
Dan
He's
is still
just-
trying to do. Oh, he can't do anything probably, but it's good to have somebody there.
Yeah.
Dan is still God knows where trying to get money. Then
Yeah.
finally,
You probably want to get beat up while he's gone.
quite possibly. Then because he bombed too, but he just bombed on his own. Like right when I put on my backpack, because Dan is like, I got my money. All of a sudden, I'm not even lying. Like 8 big dudes wearing these T-shirts got to go outside. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I realized when I saw the 20 T-shirts or whatever, this was their event. They were throwing the comedy show, and I just ruined it. What blows my mind is why you would talk during the set of the headlining comedian at your event. Even if you don't think he's funny, shut up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
why would
You're
you fuck
ruining
up your
yeah.
own thing.
But anyway, all of a
that is
sudden,
weird.
not even lying, 8 dudes go outside when I put my backpack on. They all say they got to smoke. Oh, this was the other crazy thing. As Dan is getting the money, I'm standing there, and then the bouncer of the club is standing in front of me, and they're like, yo, you can't beat him up in here. In here. They said that every time. You can't beat him up in here.
Wow,
in
dude.
here was a very, like, I'm hearing these words. It's like, you know, the cartoon when
These
the
guys are going to beat you up for no reason.
you know when sharks are circling the cartoon character?
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
Wow.
So I
That's
literally
scary, dude.
had to get snuck out of the side door and then duck my head down as we're driving by the club so they wouldn't see me. It was crazy.
That sounds insane.
Yeah. Worst fuck I've ever had at a show, for sure.
So basically, yeah, man, that's crazy because when you're like, it's almost like you're a magician in a way, man, because it's like once that guy says something and you say something, it's like making a rabbit appear that you can't make disappear, right? It's like everything that you say to that crowd is now established and cemented. It's like a stone appearing on it. Like, this is the rock that I brought, and now everyone can see it, and this is what it is. So sorry, and then you just got to react to that.
Right.
And then that keeps pushing you until you're just building a brick wall that you kill yourself behind. You know what I mean? You're just out there like, I don't know what I'm going to fucking do. This is insanity.
It was such a miserable trip getting up there. I honestly think it was like 9 hours from New York to D.C. getting up there. Like, I missed my Amtrak.
That's
It was
not
all
good.
horrible. I ended up losing money on the gig. I was in a bad mood. I think I could have handled it better. For sure.
Yeah.
Like, even that many years in, I could have handled it better if it was a better day. But it was just the wrong day, the wrong crowd, the wrong everything. And, man, when you're getting snuck out of the side door.
That's scary, man. Actual for your life.
I'm waiting for the
your
car to
job.
pull up. I won't even step outside, waiting for the car to pull up. Then I got to dart in there and duck your head down. That's
You know what's crazy?
Hell of a feeling.
No comic I've ever spoken to that has that happen to him, and no comic ever goes, and then I thought about quitting comedy. That never happens. You go, yeah, man, I almost died. Crazy. So when's that next gig? Like, we're going to do
man.
together. It sounds great.
Yeah. Oh, I was good. I didn't want to get
Yeah.
on stage for a couple days at least. I was like, I'm good.
That's scary, dude.
Yeah.
That's very scary. Man, that's fucking. So anyway, we were gonna get to. I don't think we have time this time, but we're gonna get to next time. Hopefully, the worst you've ever fucked up in a relationship. But
Well, I've only had one relationship, and I fucked up plenty. So
yeah, well, I think. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have you back on. We can do
course,
that again.
buddy.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, we
I can't
man, I'm
believe
gonna
you're
miss
moving.
you, buddy.
I can't believe you're moving in
know.
a couple days. I just looked into your eyes, and we both just got sad. It was just a real
it's
moment.
Not. Yeah, it's what a change.
Sad
End of an
ending.
era.
Sad ending. It
End
is
of an
the
era. Beginning
era.
of a podcast. End of an era. Huh?
Oh wow, that's the name of this. That's the title of this episode.
That's the title. Oh wow!
Beginning
That
of
is the
podcast,
title,
end of an era.
End of an era. You can find Akaash Singh. Akaash, what do you want to plug? You can find Akaash Singh at Flagrant 2 Podcast.
Yeah, the Flagrant 2 podcast. All my stuff on social media is Akaash Singh, AKAASHSINGH. Also, we're going on tour. Me and some very funny comics are going on tour. So if you want to check us out.
Oh yeah, the ABDC guys,
the
right? Tell them more
ABDC
about
guys.
that. Yeah.
It's 4 comics, good friends, all South Asian, all very funny. And we did a few sold out shows in New York, and now we're deciding to take this on the road. We're doing Huntsville, Alabama, September 28th and 29th, stand up live. We're doing the Red Clay Comedy Festival
Oh,
where
that's
you will
dope.
be.
Yeah, I'm going to be at Red Clay with you. It's going to be
September
great.
30th. I'm going to try to get you to miss your flight so we can hang out longer. And then October 3rd, we are at Good Nights Comedy Club in Raleigh or however you say it. And October 4th at DC Improv. So come check us out. You can buy tickets at AmericanBornDesiComics.com. Desi is DESI.
American-born Desi Comics, DESI.com.
Yeah,
All
American
right.
Desi Comics.
But it's great. And this is, thanks for listening, man, as Kase of the Mondays podcast. And, if you guys have anything that you want to email, I'd love to hear stories that you have. Worst you ever fucked up at your job, worst you ever fucked up in a relationship, and just in any kind of way, you can email us at ofthemondays@gmail, OFTHEMONDAYS @gmail.com. And, man, that's it. Thanks for listening.